shade. The desert does not warn you. 1 hour you feel uncomfortable, the next hour your body is shutting down and you do not even realize it. Heat stroke sets in when your core temperature crosses 104 degrees Fahrenheit, and the terrifying part is that it impairs your judgment before you feel truly sick. You start making bad decisions without knowing you are making bad decisions. So the second you realize you are stranded, your one and only job is to get out of direct sunlight. A rock, a vehicle, a piece of fabric, anything that blocks the sun buys you time. And in the desert, time is the only currency that matters. Signals. Here is where most people make the mistake that costs them everything. Panic kicks in, the horizon looks like an exit, and they start walking. But search teams begin from your last known location. Every mile you put between yourself and that spot is another mile working against your rescue. Before you move anywhere, signal. A mirror aimed at a passing aircraft can be seen from miles away. Rocks or dark clothing arranged into a large X on open ground is a universal distress symbol recognized by every rescue team on the planet. Staying in one visible place feels passive. It is actually the most powerful decision you can make. Water. Almost every survival guide gets this part wrong, and people have died because of it. The popular advice says take small sips, stretch your supply, ration aggressively. The real danger is not an empty bottle. The real danger is an impaired brain. At just 2% dehydration, your decision-making ability starts breaking down. At 5%, confusion and dizziness take over. You stop thinking clearly long before your throat feels desperate. Drink enough to keep your mind sharp, because out there, a clear head is more valuable than anything else you are carrying. Movement. The same desert that is trying to kill you during the day becomes a completely survivable environment after the sun goes down. Temperatures that hit 110 degrees Fahrenheit at midday can drop 40 degrees or more within hours of sunset. A person walking in full afternoon heat loses over a liter of fluid every single hour. That same person walking at night loses a fraction of that. The Tuareg people of the Sahara have traveled this way for centuries. They did not learn it from a manual. They learned it because the desert taught them, and the ones who listened survived. Clothing. Your instincts will tell you to strip off layers. Your instincts are trying to kill you. Bare skin under direct desert sun turns your body into an open radiator, accelerating fluid loss at a rate that no amount of water can keep up with. Loose, light-colored, long clothing creates a barrier between your skin and the sun, while trapping a thin layer of cooler air against your body. This is not a new idea. Across the Sahara, the Arabian Peninsula, and the deserts of Central Asia, people have dressed in full coverage for thousands of years. Not as tradition, as survival. Landscape. The desert looks empty, but it is filled with information if you know how to read it. Dry riverbeds called wadis often hold water just a few feet below the surface at their lowest bends. Dig there. Birds in the desert fly toward water at dawn and at dusk. Follow the direction they converge from, not where they scatter. Animal tracks coming together from different angles are almost always pointing toward the same water source. And if you spot willows, cottonwoods, or unusually green vegetation in an otherwise bone-dry stretch, stop and investigate. Those plants are attached to underground moisture. The water may be right beneath your feet. Fire. The desert at night is not just cooler. In many regions, it drops to near freezing temperatures, and hypothermia in a desert is a real cause of death that most people never think about. A fire solves two problems at the same time. It keeps your body temperature stable through the night, and it creates a signal visible from miles across flat terrain. Collect dry scrub and wood during daylight before you need it. Sunlight focused through any glass lens can start a flame. A fire at night in the desert is not comfort, it is communication. Food. Hunger creates urgency, and urgency in a survival situation leads to dangerous decisions. Here is the reality. Your body can function for several days without food, especially when you are conserving energy and limiting movement. Food is not what kills people in the desert. Chasing food when water is limited actually makes things worse, because digestion pulls fluid from your body. It accelerates dehydration at exactly the moment you cannot afford it. If you have water and come across edible cactus pulp or insects, fine. If you do not have water, forget food entirely and focus on what actually matters.